What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Gouache Universe podcast. I'm that comic book artist that talks about comics, science fiction, and pop culture news, all while changing the universe, one subject at a time. First of all, this is my first, not live stream, video stream of my actual podcast. And you know, I had to make it a special occasion because only the greatest animated series of all time is back. The 90s are back. Generation X is back. As you can see, I'm a fan. Got the X-Men all around me. I got a bookshelf full stack with X-Men comics, graphic novels, omnibuses. So I had to come back and do a long form reaction. Actually, this is my first long form reaction. I used to do trailer reactions and things like that, but this is my first long form reaction. And of course, it's a special occasion. The X-Men 97 is back, a continuation from the X-Men animated series from the 90s. So I had to come back for this special occasion and make this thing special. So I'm going to do a long form reaction all season of the animated series and everything. And I also have a special guest with me also too. Now this person has actually seen it. As a spoiler, this person has seen it already, but he's a big fan and he agreed to watch it along with me. And I know he wanted to see my excitement and everything like that. And this is definitely, hopefully I can contain myself, as I'm watching along, so many things to look forward to. But let me introduce you to my special guest, Teddy. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what did you like about the old series and what are you looking forward to this season? I know you've seen the first two episodes, but what are you looking forward to with this season of X-Men?
Hey guys, thanks, Juwash, for having me. Part of your reaction here to X-Men '97. It's been a long time coming. We actually met at AwesomeCon years back. Being in the nerd, bubble,
Right.
enjoying things, cosplaying. As Bishop, and I think you were X-23 or Wolverine. I
I
forget.
was so many characters.
Um,
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, I'm super excited. This has been, like, years in the making, obviously, from the '90s. I grew up, like, obsessing over the X-Men, waking up at 6:30 AM with reruns,
Mhm.
right before school in elementary school. I remember just trying to even record the intro, but, what I really enjoyed from it is, like, the topics of, human rights and, even just trying to be a mutant in a world of people that, are hating on you and whatnot. But
Right, right,
uh, but beyond that, even like the collaboration of the team, like working together against a bunch of obstacles that come their way and figuring out how to save the day pretty much is
right.
best things about the X-Men is, in my opinion, the best team across comics. So
Of course, of course.
um, yeah, so X-Men '97, I've been looking forward to seeing where they picked up and seeing more characters in the universe and the crossover episodes with like Fantastic Four and with Spider-Man
Yeah, yeah.
and so forth. So that's what I was looking forward to, and I can't wait to vicariously see your reaction. So
Hey,
that's
look,
what I'm
hopefully
looking
I can
for.
contain myself, man. I mean, like I said, you've seen it and everything, but anyway, for me, man, the X-Men animated series, man. By the time the X-Men animated series was out, I was already familiar with the characters and everything, through the comics. So I was going into it looking forward to seeing the animated series. I'll never forget this story that, you know, uh back when I was younger, my godmother, she actually found out that I was trying to get a VCR. Back in the days, for anybody out there that knows what a VCR is, this is like maybe before your time or whatever. But we had VCRs where we would take, VCR tapes and record everything that comes on television because this was like, before YouTube and things like that. But my godmother found out that I was looking for a VCR, and I was like looking all over town, to find a good VCR. And she was like, "Well, why are you so, bent on finding a VCR recorder or whatever? Why do you have to have it?" And I was like, "You don't understand. This cartoon is coming on, and I got to see it. I got to record every episode. Because this was back in the day where, uh, it's that comic book mentality. You would have to, you were trying to get up all the comics because you wanted to, it might be worth something one day, even though I knew the VHS wouldn't be worth anything. But for
Hmm.
me, it was like gold or whatever. So anyway, my godmother, she drove me around town and, we got the VCR or whatever. And she was just so, curious on what I was so, anxious to buy this VCR and tapes and everything for it. Cause I bought like a stack of VHS tapes or whatever, to prepare for the show or whatever. So, when Saturday morning came, she came and actually sat down and watched it with me. And I'll never forget, speaking of the old show, like those first three episodes were so groundbreaking, where the fact, you had one character that actually died. You had another character who went to jail. And I'll never forget, it was so funny that my godmother, after the first two episodes, my godmother was like, I don't understand. I was like, "Well, what do you mean you don't understand?" She was like, I don't understand. What happened to Morph? Where's Morph? I was like, he's dead. She was like, huh?
Yeah,
And then she was like, well, where's Beast? Well, he's in jail.
in jail.
And she
Yep.
was like, well, wait a minute. So you see what I'm saying? So
Yep.
up until that point, cartoons were still kind of like, villain of the week. They would recap. I mean, they would, come to a conclusion after each episode, and they would wrap the storyline up. It wasn't until X-Men and I would say Batman the Animated Series that
Mm,
we started to get these adult animated series where things just don't get wrapped up, right away. And it was just so powerful that, in the first two episodes, you had one character that actually died, a main character that died, another character that you had go to jail, and not only go to jail, but actually stay in jail for the entire season. And so
mm.
my godmother, she was just so impressed by that. She understood, but she didn't understand because up until that point, she hadn't seen anything like it. And
Right.
so, anyway, that's just a story I like to tell. It's an endearing story because my godmother, that got her into it, and she was more into it. I wouldn't say more into it than I am, but she would always ask me, when's the next episode coming on? Because she was so enthralled by the adult level of storytelling that that animated series brought to the table that it made her a fan and it made her a big fan for life. And she ended up later enjoying, we shared the experience of watching the first live action, X-Men movie and,
Mm,
so on and so on. But I'll never forget that story because like I said, that just speaks to the testament of the show and as far as it being an adult themed show. It didn't talk down to you. You know what I mean? It
right.
didn't talk
Right.
down to kids or whatever. It treated the story content as if it treated the kids as if they actually, I wouldn't say it treated them as if they were adults, that they knew what was going on. And
Right.
it's kind of like they had to rise to the occasion of, of the story and the themes that were being presented in the
They
show.
didn't they
And
didn't sugarcoat anything at all,
no,
and I appreciated that too because you just had to figure it out on your own. You're like, "Wait, why are they hating on them? And why did he go to jail?" And,
right,
figuring things out, but it's funny
right.
that you say, the VCR part. I still have my Marvel cards from the
Oh
late
yeah.
'90s,
The
the
tops.
late
Yeah.
'90s. Yep.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still have them in safekeeping, so I
yeah.
hold on to them and treasure them, so
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. Everybody had those. The Jim Lee, yeah, everybody had those
Yep.
cards. And they actually did something in the marketing of the show where they tried to recreate the Jim Lee images from those cards for different characters of the show. And I was like, wow, they definitely pulling on the nostalgia strings.
Yeah.
But as far as what I'm looking forward to with X-Men 97, now I haven't seen anything, but I have seen a lot of people talking about, how good it is. And so that kind of puts my nerves at ease. But I'm looking forward to, I don't know, so many things. I'm looking for just by the trailer and everything, what we've already seen. I'm looking for Bishop being a main uh character on the show. I'm looking for him to actually be a team member. And man, that's just exciting alone. When I discovered that he was going to be a team member, and I was like, man, that's what I want.
And that's my dude.
Oh, of
I
course, yeah, of course,
cosplay,
yeah.
man.
It's the bishop, so I'm talking to the right guy.
Yeah.
So that's why we should. I wish you would have waited and we would have watched this
I
thing together.
know.
And this
I
would have
know.
been a great experience to experience for the first time. But anyway,
Couldn't wait, man.
yeah, I know you
Couldn't
could.
wait. Yeah, it is what it is. But hey, I'm gonna enjoy it, seeing your reaction.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. So without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Oh hell yeah! Wow. Wow, this is fantastic. It's the same thing. It's just reanimated. Oh snap! They go Bishop.
As we await more details out of Paris, we
Callisto?
take a
Please don't hurt me. I'm Roberto da Costa, heir to the da Costa fortune. Name a price when it's not an issue.
Beauty thinks it's about cash. Funny. What's this freak's trick? No clue. It's a good mutant. Now that is rich.
Listen, I am begging you. I didn't ask for this, okay? I was born this way.
Ain't that the rub?
Uh-oh.
Not.
Oh, that was tight.
Cyclops about to have that stroke. Maybe this him.
Whoa,
Benny, you could have hurt someone.
definitely pregnant.
He doesn't care, Jean. All he cares about her is
Mhm.
The team, they'll always be family, but with the baby coming, maybe it's time to think of a life beyond the X-Men.
beyond. You mean leave the team? Everything he fought for now belongs to
To
me.
me.
My X-Men.
Wow. My X-Men.
Yep.
It's a boss.
Magneto's X-Men right there.
Yeah. Oh, this just like, man, they doing everything just like the
The
original.
ending, yeah.
Mhm.
You remember that?
Wow, the little click on the icon and everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, this animation is sharp too, man. I like the how clean it is.
Yeah.
I think
I,
it's in cell. They're using cells over 3D animation, I think, to get
oh,
that.
really? I do miss Bishop's longer hair. That's just me personally, but
Miss who?
Bishop's long hair,
Oh
remember?
yeah, I know. Yeah.
That mullet.
Wonder if he's got any end credit scenes.
You gotta stick to the end, man. You never know.
Looking at the credit score, I don't see any.
Hmm.